Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I've always been drawn to the forgotten places. The crumbling brickwork of abandoned factories, the overgrown tracks of defunct railways, the silent, skeletal remains of industry slowly being swallowed by nature. There's a quiet beauty in decay, a sense of untold stories in the silence. It's why urban exploration became my obsession, my escape from the mundane grind of a marketing job. My friend Mitchell shared a similar fascination, though his leaned more towards the esoteric. He was a connoisseur of forgotten online forums, of strange rituals and obscure urban legends. One rainy Tuesday, huddled in my cramped apartment, he practically vibrated with excitement. "I found it," he announced, thrusting his phone at me. "The reflective path." It was a convoluted set of instructions, supposedly gleaned from a defunct message board about occult cartography. The premise was simple, yet unsettling. Choose an old, neglected district, one with plenty of grimy windows, still puddles, and tarnished metal. Then follow a precise sequence of turns, always keeping an eye on reflections. "It's about seeing the city differently," Mitchell insisted, his eyes alight. "About uncovering the hidden layers, they say. They say it shows you what's really there, beyond the surface." I was skeptical, of course. My rational mind screamed hoax, but the lure of a new mystery, a new challenge in an area I thought I knew like the back of my hand, was irresistible. We picked an old industrial zone by the river, a labyrinth of decaying warehouses and forgotten canals. Overcast skies suited the mood perfectly, blurring the edges of the concrete jungle. Our first walk was innocuous enough. We followed the instructions, turn left at the shattered bus stop, then right at the rusted fire escape, all while peering into muddy puddles, the smudged windows of boarded-up storefronts, the chrome bumpers of abandoned cars. For a while, it was just a strange way to pass an afternoon. The world seemed a little sharper, a little more detailed when viewed through glass or water. Then it began. I saw it first in the reflection of a stagnant canal. For a split second, my own face, mirrored in the murky water, seemed to twist into an expression of raw terror, eyes wide and pupils dilated, before snapping back to my casual curiosity. I blinked, shook my head. "Mitchell, did you see that?" He just shrugged, already moving on. "The light's playing tricks, or maybe you're just getting into the spirit of it." But it wasn't the light. Over the next few weeks, as Mitchell convinced me to embark on more paths, the distortions grew more distinct. In the reflection of a barber shop window, I saw a figure standing behind us, tall and gaunt, its features a blur of fragmented light, only for it to vanish when I spun around. My own reflection sometimes held an object I wasn't carrying, or had eyes that were just a little too wide, a little too hollow. Mitchell started seeing things too, but unlike me, he seemed to embrace it. "It's working, it's showing us," he'd whisper, his voice almost reverent. The district itself started to feel different, emptier. The air seemed heavier, always damp, even on dry days. And the reflections, they began to show things that definitely weren't there in reality. Buildings would lean at impossible angles, colors would invert like a photographic negative, or a street that was clearly empty would be bustling with indistinct, shadowy figures in the glass. It felt like the boundaries between the real and the reflected were dissolving. Mitchell became obsessed. He'd pore over old maps, cross-referencing them with the cryptic forum posts, muttering about mirror points and echoloops. He'd call me at odd hours, describing vivid, terrifying visions he'd seen in a shop window, or how his own face in a rearview mirror had momentarily been replaced by something ancient and cruel. I tried to pull back, to tell him this was unhealthy, but he just dismissed my concerns. "You're just afraid of what you're seeing," he'd say, his eyes strangely bright. Then came the final path, the one Mitchell called the deep descent. He practically dragged me to an area I'd always avoided, a wasteland of broken glass, shattered ceramic, and discarded metal, all gleaming with the residue of a recent shower. Every surface was a potential mirror, every puddle a murky window. Mitchell was manic, pointing wildly. "This is it! This is where they say it opens up." He led me to a colossal, grimy plate glass window, part of an old, ruined factory. It reflected the desolate landscape behind us, the gray sky, and our own figures. As I stared, my stomach clenched. In the reflection behind me was the figure I'd glimpsed before, tall, gaunt, not a person, but an assemblage of fragmented light and shadow, like a being made of broken mirrors. It was reaching long, spectral fingers extending towards my reflected shoulder. But the true horror was Mitchell. His reflection, standing beside mine, was eerily clear. He turned to me, his reflected self, and his eyes, usually so full of life, were empty like polished stone. And then his reflected mouth curved into a wide, impossibly slow smile. It wasn't Mitchell's smile. It was too wide, too predatory, too ancient. It felt like a mouth made of too many teeth and a hunger that stretched back to the dawn of time. A cold dread seized me. This wasn't Mitchell anymore. The thing, whatever it was, had taken him or was inside him. I scrambled back, a choked scream tearing through my throat. The world seemed to wobble around me, the broken glass underfoot shifting, the reflections in the puddles churning like dark water. Every mirrored surface became a distorting lens, showing multiple, writhing versions of that empty smile, those grasping, fragmented hands. I ran. I don't remember how or for how long. The district became a funhouse of shifting perspectives, every turn leading me into more reflections, more glimpses of fragmented horror. I stumbled, fell, scraped my knees on jagged glass, always pushing away from the reflections, from the lurking things behind them. Eventually, somehow, I burst out onto a busy street, gasping for air, miles from where I should have been, the normal world jarringly bright and loud around me. Mitchell was gone. His phone disconnected, his apartment cleared out. He simply vanished. Now every reflective surface is a torment. My phone's screen, a dark window at night, even the polished surface of a table. I avoid mirrors, but sometimes in the corner of my eye a brief flicker. A fragmented face, watching. Or worse, my own reflection, just for a split second, holds that same empty, unsettling smile that Mitchell's had. I don't know what happened to him, but I know something came back with me from that reflected path. And I can feel it sometimes when I accidentally catch my own eye in a darkened pane, waiting to step out. I don't know if it's over or if it ever really begins. All I know is I can't look at myself the same way anymore. Be careful what you seek in the reflection.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.